Hello there. So glad to come before you today. Lots planned for the future, but I want to find a way to make each of you a star, but as the angel on the tree, separate from and together with May. The problem is the past, and the past is all we have. So it's about changing the story as we go and living it as is true. I pulled a couple cards here, and the Lord of the Rings seems to say in this deck the Eight of Coins and the Knight of Coins is where we're having to hold on to. Then we pulled Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. But that's an issue, right? We're here together, each of us with our own truth. And bringing that out of each other is the greatest of things that we can give. And holding on to experiences that we can grow together from that have a permanent ground, no matter what the changes are between. So it's moving past, like the stories in the past, but those are the only things we can stand upon together. And so, yeah, the Virgin Mary, she drug us through the mud to get this far. And he came, he left, and that's all mixed up and muddy too. It says, I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. Meaning, all those who've been helping me were a head and a heart and a body away over there, separate, but leading every time I arrived. There's a piece of me and mine. And everything I come up with seems to be two ends of the place. It's right there with you, is what it is and about. And so I think everything in the past, nothing was really divine. That God and people and the mind and the body have always been separated. And it's about rejoining that together, and then divine is still a seed being broken out of, so that we can move past history and use history to our advantage off of the point, the blade, the place everyone got stuck, separated before and after, and all around divided, talking to, away from. Kind of like a preacher in front of the church, where everyone there really makes the place glow. And when they're alone, they can look at the book and find pieces of themselves too. But it's great, but it's separated. And we each bring great things every time we see each other. There's no battle. Then I pulled security, the protection guardian. How there has been protection so that all the innocents were protected. And even the mistakes too. Because what could be a mistake in right and wrong if it got us all this far? And so it's about changing the experience, but putting the experience into something else, like I saw earlier today about the concept of a jar spell. And there's so many different ways to do a video. Each one is kind of like that. It's a prayer. It's a jar spell, but it's free and it's open to all and separately contained, giving off its perfume, which could look different one day to the next and from one another into two. She said, drop your shields. Well, here we are. They remind me it's so serious and it's a game. Well, what's the game if we're doing it to play around, if we're not serious about what it is? So then we had a balance to Shekinah, the star within. Each of us has the star, and letting it glow and shine through. And sometimes it happens the same time. Like I saw a video where she was really excited, and in the moment of the passion, said it's going to pop off, and then fireworks went off, and then her candle started sparking. Well, that's what she said first. My candle's sparking. Must be about to pop off. And then fireworks started going off outside. Then the candle burst so much it left a smoke ring across the screen. And she pulled a couple of cards, and the emperor and empress were perfectly there. Well, how do we hold this spot that looks and feels like that, where it's always popping off and we're always just walking together as king and queen is through the marriage procession, rather than the funeral march that's been in the past? And that's the Shekinah, is the divine presence within each of us, the presence of the divine feminine. Yeah, that's where the mind came from and what the mind is. This strong-handed nurturer, totally present and taking all the kicks in the stomach and getting the ice cream at 3 a.m. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. Well, you're that light for me, too. How can I shine and spark everyone's light and ask them to pay me, too, to get it also? It's challenging. But this came up underneath that I hadn't seen it before. Before I get to the next card that came up was the sun. Enjoy success and happiness. But it's times 2, and it was upside down. We're here holding 2 divine feminines trying to get our boy to come through. His head's stuck in the birth canal. And boy, that's what 2025 could spell. B-O-Y. Damn. Is she ever going to come out and come through? Underneath, I pulled Diana. Is this gift that we're figuring out of the Queen of the Wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. Speaking true everywhere we go and through all we do. And receiving, even if it's perfectly saying what we want it to, then it shows us something that's out of place, perfectly. especially if we had a new history of it on its own while we were going on our own separately, and the two were somehow working together in opposition, and both trapped and free, trying to figure out judgment and justice and balance and reversing and getting better and where we're going and what for. How do we get there? What do I have to offer? What are you offering? It's me too. I hope to find out soon. So much I've seen today. Anything's possible. And it's all got to come together no matter what.